Let's see. Ooh, we did it. Hey, people. Here we are live. So I know Heyyyy Turner and DonnA Meador, and we are here broadcasting live from the internet. Why? Because we can. Because technology makes it possible for us just to go live. So we were having a conversation, talking about lots of things as DonnA and I do. And I'm like, hey, we should go live and I should use StreamYard and StreamYard it into my Facebook page. So you should be seeing us on my personal page. And then I'm also streaming into my Facebook group called the Personal Development Party. Hey, Personal Development Party. It is self-motivation and improvement for positive pals. And then I'm also streaming. Oh, I got to check and see if it's even working because I have a YouTube channel. So I think I'm streaming there. Now, I'm going to check these things in a moment while I do that and check and see if everything's like working. Everyone who's watching, say hello to DonnA Meador. DonnA Meador, say hello to the people out in TV land while I check to make sure all systems are go.
Well, hello to everybody in TV land and social media land. How exciting that, it's a little bit freaky because I'm actually looking at the live and there's a little bit of delay on my side because I'm working on a slow computer, but here we are, right? It's sort of like you get to see how you were. It's like looking into your past. It's a little bit weird, but that's the thing about Heyyyy and me, man. We just roll with the punches. We just say, hey, you want to try something? And we're like, yeah. I love that about us, Heyyyy.
Yes, I love us too, and love that about us as well. Now I'm checking my YouTube channel real quick. Let's see if it's live. Oh wait, I think it's there. Yeah, like I'm live on YouTube.
Oh my God, I shared this twice. Okay, I'm going to delete one.
Okay, yes, share it. So for those of you who are watching now, if you are watching here with us. There's a Facebook user that says DonnA has the cutest hair. Now, here's the thing. Since we're on StreamYard, and she totally does. So we're on StreamYard. So if you comment to us in our little StreamYard feed, if you don't give StreamYard permission to show us your name and your picture, then all we see is Facebook user. So we don't know who you are unless we look at our phones or some other, device and then see it there. We don't know where you're watching from. So what I would love for you to do is if you are watching, then in the comments, put #TeamLive, because that means you're here with us right now. Okay. And if you are watching the replay, then do #TeamReplay. Then we'll know that you watched the replay. Now, we may not know it's you unless you put your name. We won't be able to see you live unless Donna's looking at her phone, and I'll try to do that. But we're only going to be on here for about 20 minutes, chatting it up about some stuff. I'm going to be introducing you to my good friend. Love this woman. And I'm going to kind of interview her and have her tell you what she's got rocking and popping right now. And then we'll chat about what I got going on. Because, man, I got a lot of stuff going on right now. Both of us have so much. We've known each other for 7 years. And it's so fun to go like from where we were to like where we are right now. So we want this to be interactive. If you've got anything to say, hey, I see a team live from somebody. I don't know who that is. Oh, and then in StreamYard, look, I can show Facebook user said team live.
Wow. And where do I see the comments?
Well, on the right-hand side, you should see like a thing that says comments or private chat. I think if you click comments, you should be able to see the comments popping in. And then I am the controller and I can like put the comments at the bottom of our screen down here. Like I just did that person's team live. And then here's the comment from whoever said that DonnA has the cutest hair.
Oh, thank you. Right? There's a story behind that.
Well, we want to hear the story. So why don't we just hop right into it? DonnA Meador, welcome to the internet and my StreamYard account. And so tell the people, tell them something cool. Tell us about the hair and then tell us how we met. Let's start there.
Well, first of all, Heyyyy, I bless every day. I kid you not, waking up, remembering how we actually connected, and took us a month to actually sit down together. But the thing that was really cool with us is I think we both thought each other was really cool. Like we were just like, man, she's really cool. And you're like, wow, you're really cool. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. You know, like you were such a supporter then. I look at you, even though you're on my team of Legal Shield, I consider you a mentor of mine. You are, as an influencer and as somebody who understands the tech and as a techie geek that you are.
Yes.
Okay, let's not kid ourselves. I look up to you for learning these features and playing with you, and you're so fun to play with. So we've been on the same journey for about 7 years, and I love it the way we look at it. Like we go like, we're going in the same direction, but we're on each on a different rail of the train. That's pretty cool.
Yes, we really are. That's a great way to put it, because we are going in the same direction, different rails. And then we like cross paths and like come together, you know, like the trains do when they cross the tracks, because that's happening right now as well with certain things, you know. And so speaking of one of them, I'll mention right now is that, so DonnA and I both, this is so crazy. So DonnA and I both are speaking at a summit called the Art of Connection Summit. And we both are in a book called The Art of Connection, 365 days of networking quotes for entrepreneurs, business owners, and influencers. And then we both are in a magazine by iNETtrepreneur Network magazine. She's on the cover. Oh yeah, let me show you. Okay, so let's do that because that's cool. Let's look at a little technology here. I think I might have it figured out where I can show you what that cover looks like, which is pretty cool. So we've had these paths that keep like crossing each other, you know, in the really most amazing ways. Even though we're kind of doing different things, we keep coming together, you know, and this is exciting. And this is one of the reasons why we wanted to do this live, because we were talking about this and we're like, wait a minute, we're both speaking at this summit. We both were in this magazine. We're both part of this book, and our journeys have transpired so interestingly from where they were when we started, when I met you, when you introduced me to Legal Shield, which we both are still in Legal Shield. We're Legal Shield for life, you know, but we're not just Legal Shield. You know, we have so many other things about us that we want to share with the world. And we're finding really cool ways to make that happen and amplifying our voices and our platforms and building our brands. And we both help people in very different ways, but then they aren't so different when you think about it, about helping them improve their lives. So talk a little bit about this cover, who this guy is, and what this means.
Yeah, I'm going to cover it all in a few minutes here. First, let's talk about the hair, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The hair. So what's up with the hair? So, you know, in this journey, when you met me, Kenyatta, I was Donna Sparacco. And in 2016, my husband Pietro passed away. I did have curly hair back then, but it wasn't until he departed. A lot of major events, a lot of major changes. I embraced a lot of major changes after he departed. I feel like Pietro was the catapult that moved me forward in connecting with women who were dating later in life. He connected me with other widows, giving them permission to love again. The gentleman on the cover is my now husband. And the red in my hair is a result of after Pietro passed away, before I met Jeff. I'm looking in the mirror at the salon and it's incomprehensible to be looking at this woman in the mirror and she looks the same, but she was not the same woman. And so I was unctioned at that moment to ask it was not pre-planned. It was just like, I need red in my hair. She's like, oh, we can't do that now. I'm like, I'm from New York, you guys. Like, if you don't do it now, like, I'm going to go home and do it. Okay. Yeah, that's the worst thing you can say to a salon person or a hair person. Right. And so she put it in my hair. It became my brand, Kenyatta. You know that. Like, all of a sudden I had this brand and people were following me on this journey. At the time, the major vlog and the major voice I had was through Daily Dose of DonnA, giving people permission to set their dial to joy in the midst of adversity. And after a year, when I was ready to go out dating again, I was, I was not looking for love. And yet 6 months after starting to date, this man walked into my life. And now I discovered I was giving women the opportunity, the permission to love again. Women who have lost their spouse, their mate, their significant other. And it's not that I planned this, Kenyatta. People were reaching out to me. They were just inspired by it. And So now I'm writing my next book. I have a book about dating, which is really turned into my love story with Pietro.
Right,
okay.
right.
But when I was ready to go out dating again, I picked up my own book, refreshed my memory. I said, it worked so great the first time. Let me try it again. And so
it's a very good book, by the way. It totally works.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of good advice if I do say so myself. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, life is a journey, Kenyatta. It's really never what happens to us. It's all about how we respond to what happens for us. That's how I look at life. I met a man who follows that same philosophy with me. We are very much on the same page. It's been an exciting journey. And because of our connection and my brand that I had prepared over the past X amount of years of empowering people with Legal Shield and with dating workshops and with dating coaching, like all this empowerment, we ended up being discovered, and we'll be launching a TV show called The Meador Affect. And it's all about relationships and giving people permission and inspire them to move forward and reach for joy, reach for more. How cool is that?
It's so cool. I love it. I love it. And so check it out. So and thanks for sharing all that story. Now, people, those of you in TV land, right? Oh, and I want to say Kirsten was the Facebook Live user who said that she loved your hair. So,
thanks,
Kirsten Bright Elliott, she's a friend of mine for years. Hey. So here's the thing. I think that so I put the link, and I don't know if it's going to show up for everyone. So I'm going to have to put it in the after this, put it in the actual comments or whatever. But the link to this magazine, people, if you guys want to take a look at it and read more of DonnA's story, but check it out. So when you go to the link, and down here at the bottom, you can click through the pages. Look at how fancy that is. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, and there's your article, like right there. So there's the article for her and Jeff Meador in here. You can read their story and the interview that was from them on page, whatever page that is, 4. Yeah. And then so what we were also talking about is like, I'm in the magazine too. I wrote an article. I am an author.
You know? Right. And we didn't know that, right? We didn't know that till this came out that we were in the same magazine. How cool is that?
Right. So if you click through, there's a lot of great articles in here, but I'm on page 22. I just got to go so you can see for real. And I just love the pages like flipping. It's so totally dope. Boom, there's my article. Yeah. So I love it. I wrote this 2-page article about me jumping off a cliff and sprouting wings and what that really looks like and how that put me. I jumped off that cliff 6 weeks before I met DonnA and was like floating around in the air, not yet hitting the ground yet, but like in the air on my way somewhere. I didn't know. After I quit my job of 20 plus years, working for colleges, running schools, and I wanted to build my own empire. I had no idea what that empire would be and didn't even know really what that meant. I had no idea. But what I did know is something had to change. And I wasn't going to do what I was doing anymore. My heart was not in it anymore. My heart was thinking, Kenyatta, you were built for so much more. Like, so much more. Like what? And you better go figure it out, because if you sit here at this desk and wake up and another 20 years has gone by, then you will be squandering these extra years I considered that I have after the age of 39 when my father died. He was 39 and I was 39 when I jumped off that cliff and said, I'm not going to stand here looking over the cliff, wondering what's down there. I'm going to go after it. And I did. 6 weeks later, I was introduced to Donna Sparacco, who introduced me to Legal Shield. I love Legal Shield. Legal Shield for life. I'm so, and Donna, I just have to say, and you know this, that my life, and let me get rid of this thing here. How do I do that? Hold on a second. I'm like running the controls. I'm the engineer. Woo. So my life changed profoundly when I met you, through our connection, through just meeting you. What? Are you frozen? I think you're frozen. Oh wait, no, you're there. Through meeting you and just who you are changed my life, just because you're just so amazing, and the friendship and the wisdom you pour into me and have over the years, like that is just profound. But also the connections and the people that I met through meeting you, you know, in our business Legal Shield, you know, and outside of that, but it introduced me to a world I knew nothing about, that the world of being an entrepreneur, which I knew nothing about because I'd had a job since I was, 16. And, right. I don't have words truly to describe, my gratitude for you, for seeing me at that networking meeting that my mother took me to, by the way. My mom called me up, like, Kenyatta, what are you doing? You quit your job. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Some days I wake up laughing. Some days I wake up crying after I quit my job. She's like, come to this meeting with me. Come to this networking meeting with me and go meet some women, And I'm like, what is that meeting? You go to this meeting every month, like this bunch of ladies hanging out, eating lunch, and she's like, those ladies are business owners. And I'm like, oh, she's like, and it was Whisk, women I should know, And so she took me to the meeting, and that's where I met Donna Sparacco. I stood up and it's like, hey, I just quit my job. I don't really know what I'm doing. I think I'm going to sell some of my vintage clothes on eBay. There was no Etsy then. And eBay. Anybody have any ideas for me? Donna comes up. She's like, what did you say? Quit your job. What are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. And so anyway, she's like, well, we should talk because, I have a business opportunity. You might be interested. And you mentioned like legal something. I was like, what, do I look like a crook? Why are you talking to me about that? I'm not interested in nothing like that. Whatever. I don't know what you're talking about, but you know what? I like you. I'm like, we will talk again.
Do I look like a crook?
Why are you coming up talking to me like I need lawyers? so, oh my God. And I'm like, but I dig you. I love your energy. Like instantly, I'm like, we're going to be friends. I don't know what that means. And then here we are today, sharing the stage for global summits and being in books together and magazines together and helping people. So anyway.
So fun.
So I see a couple of comments.
I might remember, and I do want to share with the audience that when I went up to Kenyatta, even though she had, by the way, I had to wait like a half hour because she was jib-jabbing with people. And so I'm like, you know what? This is like great opportunity. She's a really cool gal. I don't know why she would quit her job without having something else. But, I came to Arizona with no job. So when I did, but here's the thing, I had no job because of 2008. I started Legal Shield and I was in a state I knew nobody. The culture was different. I was like networking like 4 times a week, running around the valley. Whisk was once a month. And by the way, I knew your mother for 2 years, never knew it was your mother. Okay. And she didn't talk to me about legal. I mean, no, she was sort of like, whatever. I tried to connect with her a few times. She's like, whatever. So, and then here you are. I didn't know she was your mother until you actually came on the team and we were talking on Facebook and I saw this, this woman who I knew from this group. And I'm like, who is she? It's my mom.
Love my mom. Mom, if you're watching, love you.
Yeah, my mommy too.
Absolutely. And so this is so cool. So our paths, again, we're like going down the same way, but then we're always talking about different things, about what we want to do and how we ultimately want to help people. And, we've been finding our way and doing that. Talk to us about a couple of the things that you have that people can get involved with, if they want to work with you, they want to learn more about you and what you have to offer. What were some things you would share?
I'm really excited about the opportunities that were brought forth from the pandemic. And I don't want to be insensitive, but the fact is when things change. And if you understand that you have opportunity in front of you now, because very often, Kenyatta, don't we get up and we do the same thing every day? The routine, we get out of the bed, we go brush our teeth, maybe go to the bathroom, get the cup of coffee. And I have learned over this past year that I don't want my body to be in charge. I want my mind to be in charge. And so I want to think about my actions. This is real. We actually fall in step, and routines are nice. But when you start to do, and somebody brought this to my attention, I'm going to say I poo-poo this. I know I'm not answering your question, but this is so good. It's coming. I poo-pooed. I said, my body's not in charge. And one day I walked into the bathroom, the light was on, and I took my hand and I flipped the switch on. And I went, I knew the light was on, but I still reached and flipped the switch. And that freaked me out because I understood that very often, folks, we think we're in charge and we're allowing our body to be in charge and tell us what to do as opposed to our mind. I learned that from Joe Dispenza. That's been another year-long training and understanding with his message, which is just fabulous. What a mentor. But as I walked this journey this past year, that which I had a passion about, which was dating, right? My book that I wrote about dating, which is on Amazon, I'm still trying to throw the link in there. I started to write that in 2004, did not publish it to 14. So it took me 10 years to publish. Why? Well, there was no such thing as Kindle, and there was no such thing as private publishing. I mean, you had to spend a lot of money if you were going to publish a book back then. So, who has $50,000, $60,000 at that time, right? Then we enter into 2008 and all that. But the book gets published in 2014. I constantly have, from the moment I started dating in 2004, as a woman who was in my early 40s, going out dating in Manhattan, I understood, I read all the books, I studied it like you all went to college. Like I studied dating and relationships. And through the journey, I started to realize something was missing, and which was people weren't having fun dating. And I thought something was missing with that. Why were they not having fun dating? And so it became this personal obsession of helping women understand their value and their self-worth. And because of pandemic, I finally launched or rolled out 2 beta dating workshops for women dating. I say later in life, it's, anybody out of college. And now widows are reaching out to me. How did you do it? How did you find love twice in a row? And I started to realize I had the secret. I understood. So I am a dating coach. And because I value you, and I'm so jealous of your techie abilities, Kenyatta, I can't even, my website's not up. I don't know. I'm still working on how to get the whole functionality of this workshop together, taking payments, but it's all there. It's all coming together. I launched my 2 beta tests. I have my formula. I'm amazed. I've had women on the call from the workshop from Italy, from Germany, from local. And you know what? We all have the same angst. We all have the same questions. Women don't understand their value and their self-worth. And that's what I get to bring to the table for them.
I love it. Well, you're doing the thing, because if we talked back a few years ago, that's not what was happening. We were talking about these things, right? So for those of you who are out there listening and going, wow, I have this thing I want to do. I have this idea, this program, this way to help people, whatever. And you're sitting there wondering, well, how do I do it? I don't know where to go to get started. I don't know. Will anyone buy it? Will anyone care? Just do the thing. You know what I mean? Like literally just, if you believe in it enough, then there's got to be someone else who will believe in it too. But doing the thing, because we've had these conversations about how to make it happen. And sometimes we just have to go in there and just be like, well, I'm just going to do it. And we're going to see what happens, and I know that's what I had to do. Building Freedom Empire Consulting, there were so many things I did not know that did not exist several years ago, right? But now I've got programs, workshops, I'm building my brand, speaking engagements, doing all the things that I'm built to do, that I know I'm built to do, and I can't help but do. And you can't help but do what you're built to do. You are an engager. That is your behavioral superpower, Missy. Mine is influencer. That's who we are. That's who we're wired to be. Whether we unleash those behavioral superpowers or not is up to us, but that's who we are. And that's what I want to also tell anyone out there is listening, is that you're wired a certain way to do things a certain way. How you do anything is how you do everything. You can fight it all day long. And that fighting it is like a square peg, round hole scenario. You're like literally shoving a square peg into a round hole. But see what happens when you start just doing what you're built to do, like Donna's doing now, right? Like I'm doing now. Then you can actually affect change in your own life, but you can affect the lives of others. And that's what she's doing through her courses and, and her coaching and her daily dose of Donna, and now the Meador Affect. And Lord only knows whatever's going to come after that.
Well, I know. And by the way, I love the superpower thing. And I love being so unique in your world, Kenyatta, where me and my now husband, I know it's a funny term, we're both engagers. And you can't miss it. When you watch the Meador Affect, we banter really well. We totally love it. Like we're having so much fun. And so I really am looking forward to the TV show being launched. But with your understanding your superpower, it didn't change me, Kenyatta, but it enhanced me. I'm like, that's right. I am an engager. You're darker than I am, you know? Like,
that's exactly, it's not designed to change you, and it can't change you,
right.
but the knowledge of it enhances you. It
That's
absolutely does,
yeah.
because then you're like, oh, like you said, you know, I like to say you are now behaviorally and unapologetically you.
Yeah. Yes.
And you really truly own that. You know, me as an outgoing, fast-paced influencer, that anyone watching this, you know me, you're like, oh yeah, that's her. You know, my mom is an influencer as well. You know, my sister is a facilitator, right? We have these differences, but we've always been these things. So those of you who are watching, if you are a woman specifically, I will tell you, because I'm going to share a couple of things before we wrap up that I have going on that I want you to know about in case you are interested, or you could tune yourself out, la, 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 la. If you don't care, whatever, I'm gonna tell you anyway, is that if you want to learn what your behavioral superpower is, and you are a woman, I have a boot camp that I'm doing next Wednesday called Leverage Your Behavioral Superpowers Boot Camp. Okay. It's Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. I will put the link in the chat, and you can actually learn your behavioral superpower, but we are going to be doing some work, meaning not only am I going to coach you through what it means to, you know, to have the power that you have, but you're also going to be writing what I like to call your burning statement of desire, your behavioral statement of desire. Because what I know is that if you can't answer questions like, who am I? Like, what is my unique talent, skills, and abilities? What is my significance that I'm bringing to the world? And what is your purpose? Now, these are hard questions to answer. Many people don't have the answer to these questions. And you know why? Most people won't take the time to think about it. They just do what I call whistling past the graveyard. Like, they're not even paying attention and thinking about, who am I? What do I want to contribute? What is my legacy? What brings me ultimate joy? And then how am I going to go about the process of getting it? That's what we talk about behaviorally. So if you're a woman and you're interested in that, I'll put the link in the chat. Today's the last day for early bird pricing. It's only $47. I'm offering this, you know, boot camp for early bird price. Tomorrow it doubles. So if you're interested in that, I'll put that in the chat as well. Like I mentioned, DonnA and I are both participating in this Art of Connections, the Art of Connections Virtual Global Summit. Right. I will put, let me do a little share thing. Oh yeah, I can do some tech and share, because I can add it to this thing. So if you go to, and I will put that in the chat as well, this is the website, artofconnectionsummit.com. I think this is like the homepage or whatever. So if you go there, they have different panels, and DonnA's speaking on a panel. So if I go here, if you click on panels right here and go to the connection panel, then you can see the world-class panel. There's DonnA right there. Look at her. Gorgeous, right? She's going to be speaking with Lauren and Sinhal and John. Oh, there's Jonathan's on that panel too. Awesome. Yeah. And Reverend Joanne. So they're going to be speaking. There's going to be different panels that you can go to. And there's like speed networking and all this stuff and little workshops like in between. And then I am speaking on the human connection panel with Diana, Dr. Joe Blake. There's me. And there's Mary Lynn. So there's these various panels throughout the day. There's a traditional media panel, a digital media panel. So this is a really cool summit, how they set this up, where they'll have these panels of experts that'll be talking about various things, and you can go and engage with them. But in between the panels, there's little learn shops and little opportunities to kind of network with each other or with the speakers. This is Becky Norwood. She's actually the publisher of that Art of Connections book that we were in. Oh, I guess I should probably show the book. So here's the book. Yeah, so this was fun. I'll talk about that in a second. Brian Wright, more folks, and then there's a digital connections panel. So there's a little bit of something for everyone, but it's all about connection. And I'm so excited to be a part of this, because it's just, I don't know, it's just going to be amazing. This right here, I'm also put the link. This is the link to my behavioral superpowers workshop. Okay, so you can put the link in there, get the information, 1-day boot camp, but it is for women only. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Now, this book right here is really cool. So DonnA and I both had opportunity. Ooh, and Larry and Donnie are in this book too. Larry and Donnie Smith, who are in legal. Oh my God, so cool. So basically, you got to pick a day that you wanted your quote to be on. You got to write a quote, a thought, and a question, right? And so you got to pick a day you wanted yours to be on. Now I picked April 5th because that's my birthday. So that was my day. DonnA, what day did you pick?
July 7th, because that was the day I got married to Jeffrey.
So okay, so your anniversary. So let's take a look and see what the quote is for today, which I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. I try to look at it every day. Today's the what? What's today's date?
April 21.
21. Okay. So April 21. So I'll read you guys the quote because why not? Just share. Sharing is caring. April 21, Dr. Karen Perkins. This is the day that she is on. She's one of the co-authors of the book as well with Robert W. Jones. So her quote says, "A year feels short or long according to the time you put into it. It's short for those who plan and rise daily to execute their plan. It's far too long for those who yearn to get into the next year out of boredom, chaos, or while sleeping time away." There's truth in that. There's truth in that in the way that, you know what? And it makes me think about that. It's almost the idea that people get so excited, like waiting for the new year. They're like, oh my God, you know, I'm so excited for the new year, but for what? Like what's going to happen in the new year that couldn't be happening right now, you know, like waiting for like July 3rd, you know, the 21st or 31st for the camera to, or for not the camera, but the calendar to flip. It's like, it's almost like waiting for like a Monday to start your diet or something, you know, like why Monday, you know, what's going on right now. So, and I think about that because when you do have a plan and you're working to execute it, like I live on a 12-week year cycle, people, everyone who knows me knows I'm on a 12-week year cycle. I'm not on a 365-day calendar. So for me, boom, boom, time flies because I'm always working towards something, right? I'm not sitting around going, man, I can't wait for so-and-so to happen. It's like, no, it just happened. You know what I mean? Like it goes by fast. What are your thoughts about that quote, DonnA? That's a cool quote.
Yeah, I don't want to sound cliche. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. But you know, I agree with you 100%. And it goes back to, are we allowing our body to control our activities? And why are we not taking control of our mind? And when you have a passion, Kenyatta, you can't stop us. And you're right. And I appreciate your helping me to understand that I'm doing the thing of my passion, even though I don't have all the mechanics together yet. I'm still doing it. Yeah. I'm still making things happen. Every day we get up and we are making something happen because, as you have said to me, why are we not what we want to do? What did you say to me this morning when we got on? I said, I've got to do my dating evergreen program. And you said, why are you holding back from giving that to people? They need it, right?
Why are you keeping that from people? Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, you're right. I don't need to keep it from anybody. And I don't need a date on the calendar to start. I can just start. Like, I don't need to wait till Monday. I don't need to wait till cool. Yes.
Start. Yes. So no, that is so much truth. Yes. So much truth. So I wanted to share that book with you. And then there's a couple other things I'm going to share before we get out of here. There's another, what? Okay, I'm so excited. Okay. I know. So yesterday, so for those of you who don't know, I'm also, okay. I'm the founder and CEO of Freedom Empire Consulting. That is my business. I coach, I influence, and I protect. I'm a behavioral superpowers coach who decodes human behavior and helps people optimize their performance and enhance relationships using validated behavioral insights. So when you hear me saying behavioral superpowers, that's what I'm talking about. But and I'm also affiliated and the Chief Behavioral Superpowers Officer for Dream Smart Academy. And in Dream Smart Academy, we just done our first 2 people, certified behavioral superpowers coach. It has been up until now, me and Jeff Morris, who's the co-founder of Dream Smart Academy. But yesterday we graduated our first 2 certified behavioral superpowers coach, and they are Dr. Greg Spencer. So our first doctor who's certified, and then Pastor Sean Mitchell. So our first doctor and our first pastor have been certified in what I do as a behavioral superpowers coach. And we're going to be offering our first full cohort in just a few, probably several weeks, where we're going to invite people who are interested in getting certified and do a full cohort of certification. So that's exciting. We had our little graduation ceremony and Zoom yesterday, and I was like emotional about this because,
wow.
I know without a shadow of a doubt what I am built to do. And it is this work. in behavioral science. It is this work of helping people know who they are from the inside out and learning to be unapologetic about that. And I've done thousands of uncovering sessions with people, teaching them this information, but the excitement comes from being able to teach and train others to do the same thing. Like, we are building a behavioral superpower universe. Okay. I'm the co-founder of Dream Smart Life Prep Academy. We are building a charter school that will be based specifically around behavioral superpowers, and every student will know, and every teacher will know, and everyone will know, and we will change the world through access to this information. And then we will help shield the freedom empires that we're helping them build, because we will make sure that they have access to legal services, access to identity theft protection, access to things that are going to protect what they're working so hard to build. Because if you're out there building a legacy and you're not protecting that legacy, good luck. Because when something happens, right, Donna, you'll be like, man, you know, like, and so it's all inclusive and it's comprehensive. Like, we both are helping people in very similar ways, but such unique ways. But even still, we're changing the world, Donna. Like,
yeah, we sure are. And you know, Kenyatta, it's so interesting. I came to Arizona because I was looking for something to do that I couldn't get laid off from, right at like 2008, being in New York. And then I wanted residual income. And so I thought health insurance would be the thing. And it's great to have health insurance. But when I discovered Legal Shield, it was so it just struck a chord to me that not just an engager, but a do-gooder. I'm a girl, you know, I was a Girl Scout, so I was a senior in high school. So I want to help people, right? But you can only help people if they want help. But when it dawned on me that I could pick up the phone and talk to an attorney, and again, like yourself, we weren't in trouble with the law, Kenyatta. But when I started, I had such stress moving to Arizona, $50,000, $60,000 in debt, living off credit cards, and I'm getting pinged left and right with all these small little new needles, right? I'm getting, and I have nowhere to turn. And I discovered that I can actually talk to an attorney. And 5 reasons, my first phone call, 5 reasons I asked 5 different attorneys that reap me the benefit of return on money, but also reduce on stress. And and then with this identity theft, just last week, you saw it. I think I had 3 or 4 people reach out to me and go, I just got scammed with an Amazon impersonator, a PayPal impersonator. There's texting, there's links. And I have a girlfriend who got scammed out of $2,000 last week. All this is last week, because she got a phone call from the IRS, Social Security. And these guys are professionals. So these people who are getting scammed are smart, intelligent people, but we have a lot going on. We're distracted. We get a phone call, we get a text. We're so used to clicking links. Right. There are scammers out there left and right. So if you're not, you know, I always say, like, if you have a business, and Kenyatta, you know, I've been out networking here in the Valley in Arizona and of course nationwide for the last 10 years with Legal Shield. And I come across a lot of business owners. And if you're not asking those little questions, it could be the make or break of your business. And so professionally, as business owners, it's imperative that we have access to lawyers.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't we? And we've just been taking it for so long. We've been trained never to use attorneys because we thought they were expensive. So we Google, we do it yourself game, but there's just way too much at stake. And I always tell people, if you can't afford the problem, you know, the solution, you certainly don't want to
afford the problem. No, you cannot afford the problem. You are so right. And I just, you know,
education, right?
We just have an amazing life. What we do, and we will continue to do that and help people along the way, because I know that part of my mission and goal is to leave this place, you know, a little bit better than I found it, you know, and I found it good. Hey, whatever. I mean, there's, you know, I control the controllables, you know what I mean? And so, and what can I do? And I'm just thrilled to be, to have learned what I've learned, to have fallen in love with personal development in the way that I have, to have learned my behavioral superpowers and know this is why you've always been the way you are. So why don't you use that, you know, and don't let anybody stop you. Otherwise, having met you and just my world is, I don't know. I'm just so grateful for you that you came up to me at that networking meeting and that we've locked arms and we are still forging ahead and all the amazing things that we are doing and learning from each other and growing. And, you know, I have much love for you, Don. I mean, you know that. So just love you, love you, love you. And those of you watching, I'm just saying it out loud so you know I love her too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's mutual. We love each other. So
You know,
it's mutual. We don't get enough of each other. We always learn something from each other when we get together, and we're here to support each other. And I love that, Kenyatta. I love you dearly. And I'm just so excited that you paid attention to me when I was at that meeting.
I know, because I was a busybody, right? And, you know, and so those of you who are watching, I know there's a few people you still watching, do hashtag team live if you're watching live, hashtag team replay if you're watching replay. Now, I know I owe you some links. I'm going to post some links down here in the bottom from some of the things that we talked about because you may be interested in attending the summit. It's going to be amazing, right? There's a Global Women Summit that I have a link that I'm speaking on next week as well. I'll post that in there. The magazine link, whatever. You know, you want to get to know me and Donna, follow her, follow me. We have all the socials, medias, interwebs, whatever, you know what I mean? We're doing the thing. We're out there in these internet streets, you know, spreading love, joy, and laughter, you know, everywhere. And Donna, thanks for, you know, experimenting with me with this whole StreamYard thing. I wanted to check this out and do the first live to my YouTube page, which I think is still working properly. So that is great. So this was kind of a tech experiment as well.
Very cool.
And I appreciate it. Oh, and one last thing. If you're in the personal development party group and you're watching this from there right now, stay tuned because I'm going to have a message. I'm going to go live again later in the group because it's time to have another party in the personal development party group. And so I'm going to make the announcement about that. So stay tuned. And then Donna, any last words before we bounce out of here? Oh, no, and we're going to be on Clubhouse.
I was just going to say the last thing you and I are learning to do is Clubhouse. We're going to come up with a very cool meeting title for the room. We're looking at a few things, you and I, which I love. I think we were talking about connecting through disconnection, which I think is really powerful. And I love teaming up with you in all these areas, Kenyatta. So see us on Clubhouse.
Yes, listen to us on Clubhouse. If you're not on Clubhouse because you have an Android, sorry, you should get an iPhone. And anyway, that's where we'll be. So we're having so much fun. But Donna, I love you. Let's get out of here. And then I will see you really soon. And everyone out there in TV land, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. And we love you too. So have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time. Bye. I need like some outro music or something.
Yeah, right.
I got no music, but I can hum. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba. Out of here.
Peace out.